Okay, sit yourself onto your lift and then come into a good cross-legged position. Just spend a moment, once you are settled in cross-legs, just spend a moment just to observe how your body is feeling. Because sometimes we have a mindset of how the physical body is, and sometimes that's different to how the physical body actually is. So hold on to your knees, lift up into your chest, lift the heart area to the ceiling, draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. Allow your eyes to soften in the sockets. And just spend a moment to focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and long, slow, deep, deliberate exhalations. Soften the jaw by drawing the lower teeth away from the upper teeth. Soften your tongue, soften your throat. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms consciously together. Try and press the air out from between the two palms. Lengthen from your armpits into your elbows into the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Fill in the lungs from the bottom to the top. And emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Filling your lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. If there is a reason why you shouldn't hold your breath, then just breathe normally. If there's no reason why you shouldn't hold your breath, then at the top of the in-breath, just gently suspend the breath for a moment. Without grip, just hold onto the breath for a second or two before exhaling fully. Just allowing the body to absorb more of the oxygen within the lungs, more of the prana within the air. So just a gentle suspension of the breath so that you absorb the energy within the air that you inhale. Just a very brief suspension of the breath, keeping the lungs gentle and soft, keeping the muscles around the ribs gentle and soft. So suspension without any hardness, without any gripping. Just one more cycle. And with an out breath, draw your chin down to meet the chest. Lift your chest to meet the chin. Just normal breaths without the suspension. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Just holding on to that feeling of abundance. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tips of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. And with an exhalation, raise your head. Allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees. Hold onto your knees and elevate consciously the abdomen up towards the diaphragm, towards the collarbone. Draw in your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation. And with the following exhalation, turn to the right side. Draw in your abdomen across, your ribs across. Just observe how your body responds to the turn. Observe where there is resistance. Maybe that resistance is a surprise, maybe it's not. Maybe there isn't resistance where you expected it to be. So just draw your attention into the physical sensation of the pose. Using each subsequent exhalation to intensify the turn in action of the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders, but keeping the head soft, just looking forwards rather than over the shoulder. Feel that the seat bones are evenly weighted. You haven't rolled over onto that right seat bone or onto the left. There's even balance at the seat bones. Come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest. Draw in your shoulders down away from your ears. Take a deep inhalation. And then turn to the left. Again, just observing how your body responds to the pose. Observing how the body resists or assists. Just observe how the physical body feels from resistance, from balance, from the breath. Come back to the center. Just feel how your back has warmed up a little. Just hold onto your knees and lift up into the chest and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Just fill the lungs from the bottom to the top and empty them from the top to the bottom. We're just going to do a couple of rounds of Brahmari pranayama. So Brahmari pranayama is a normal inhalation and then a long, slow, deep exhalation until the lungs are empty. And you hum a low note on the out breath, observing the resonance of your voice within the chest. So just take a normal exhalation, a normal inhalation. You can close your eyes. Just normal in breaths, normal out breaths, observing the balance of the seat bones. Just take a normal exhalation followed by a normal inhalation, and then we'll do 4 Brahmaris, so long, slow, deep exhalations on a low hum until the lungs are empty. So whenever you're ready. And then one more. And then return the breath back to a normal rhythm. Just observing how you can maintain the resonance of the sound within the chest, within the throat. Just gently open your eyes, observe the quietness of the brain. And then come off your lift. Just come onto all fours. Have your hands as wide apart as the mat. Have your little fingers on the edge of the mat. Have the thumbs stretching towards each other. Spread the fingers. Turn your toes under. And then come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So just ease yourself into the pose, into dog down. If you feel that there is resistance in the hips, I certainly feel that this morning, then you can bend your knees. Bend your knees acutely. And then lift the seat bones and the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then straighten the legs. Tighten the kneecaps. Lift the fronts of the thighs all the way to the top of the leg. Turn the fronts of the thighs consciously inwards. Turn the inner knees towards the back of the wall, back of the room behind you. Or maybe it's in front of you when we're in dog down. But anyway, slice the inner knees back. Lift up into the chest. The more you turn the thighs, the more space you get into the hips. Just observe how your body feels and responds to the pose this morning. Observe where there is resistance, observe where there is none, where there's freedom. Aim for balance of action. Just listen to the body, just as you listen to the breath. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into the standing position, and get a couple of blocks for your hands, and then bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. Just make sure that your toes are in line with each other in front of you, and then bring your hands onto your hips. So we listen to the body, not with the ears, just like we listen to the breath, not just with the ears. We listen to the sound of the breath, of course, but we also listen to the body's response to the pose. As you inhale, feel how the chest naturally rises upwards and outwards, opening up the ribs, opening up the intercostal muscles between the ribs. So we hear the body, we listen to the body through the feeling of the pose, just as much as any sound that reaches the ears. Lift the heart area upwards, keep the head lifted as you come forwards, listening for the body's response. Listening for resistance, listening for freedom, just listening to what the body is telling you today. So although these limbering poses are poses that we do every day is different. So if it doesn't feel different, then that's okay, but maybe you're just not listening. Try and draw your attention into the physical body, into the muscles. Find balance within the physical body. It's not always as easy as it sounds. Maybe it doesn't sound easy. Just be in the pose and see the body that you can't physically see with the eyes. See the body through the feeling of the body. See the body because you're listening to the body. If you can go down lower, then do, but listen to the body. Listen to the signals that the body is sending you. Differentiate between the signals that the body are sending you in sense of reaction to the pose, physical sensations. Differentiate between those physical sensations and the ego. The ego wants you to go down into the pose as much as you possibly can. And it might just be enthusiasm, and that's okay, but are you listening to the ego rather than to the physical body? Are you treating your yoga practice as punishment for the body like people do in the gym? Or are you using it as an opportunity to just feel where your body is in 3 dimensions at this particular moment in time? I always think one of the most beneficial things about yoga practice is its ability to bring your attention into the present moment. And the present moment is always okay because we can do something with the present. So by activating our awareness, we bring ourselves into the present moment, observing how the body responds, activating deeply for levelness, activating for energy. Okay, bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into standing position. Come into Tadasana. The inner edge of the feet together, and just spend a moment to observe the energy of the pose. Listen to the breath. Listen to the in-breath and the out-breath. Turn the palms all the way out, rotating the upper arms in the sockets. Lifting the chest like you're an arrow point into the sky. Upwards is typically the direction of growth. So in the garden we see the first signs of springtime poking from the earth up towards the sun. It's the direction of growth, but of course within that there is direction downwards and into the soil, stretching into the soil, stretching the roots, establishing the foundation for a year of growth. Bring your arms out in front, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then raise your arms over your head. So treat the feet like roots, stretching, spreading into the earth, laying down the foundations for growth. Lift the shins out of the ankle sockets, turn the fronts of the shins inwards, tighten the kneecaps, turn the inner knees towards the wall behind you, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, tuck the tailbone in. Draw the belly button towards the spine, draw the lower ribs towards the spine, lift the heart area towards the ceiling. Squeeze the outer elbows in towards each other, draw the shoulders down away from your ears, push the palms of the hands up to the ceiling. Just release your arms and then swap the interlock of the fingers. Turn the palms all the way out and then again raise your arms up back to the ceiling. Just go back to the roots, go back to the legs, maybe the trunk. Just notice the juxtapositions, the turning of the legs, the turning in of the tailbone, the drawing of the abdomen up to the lower ribs, but then drawing the lower ribs towards the spine. The heart area lifting, the shoulders drawing down. Squeezing the elbows together, pushing the palms towards the ceiling. So yoga is full of juxtaposition. Juxtapositions and objectives. Release the hands, bring your arms back down to the floor. So those juxtapositions stop us from overworking and underworking. They bring balance. But they seem to be doing contrary things within the super objective of extension. Bring your arms out nice and wide in toward your chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide. Turn your left toes in and the right leg and foot all the way out. Turn the fronts of the legs outwards, so you rotate the fronts of the legs outwards, and then reach down, find the shin. Observe how the pose feels for you this morning. So we've done this pose many times. So just feel it from the inside. Feel where the front leg, that's the right leg, the front leg buttock bone is in relation to the front leg heel. can you bring them into alignment with each other? So you have to push the front leg buttock bone forward a little. But at the same time, the juxtaposition is hitting the leg behind you, the left leg. Push that towards the wall behind you. So you're squeezing the front leg buttock bone forwards, but you're really resisting that forward action with the back leg. Reach up, come back to the center, swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. And again, just focus on turning these legs outwards from the inside to the outside. And then reach over, find shin, and look up. Observe your energy. Observe the physical position of the front leg. It's the left side this time. The front leg, buttock bone, is it in line with the heel? Just have a quick look down. Is your head over your foot? That's usually a good indication that you're in a good alignment. But squeeze that front leg, buttock bone forwards. Push the back leg towards the wall behind you. Come back to the center, bring your feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together. Just come back into Tadasana, just observing your body's response to the pose. Listen to the breath. Just observing, paying attention to the physical body's result. Soften your jaw and your tongue and your throat. Bring your arms out nice and wide, in towards your chest, and then step or jump, go wide with your legs. And then bring your heels in line with the back edge of your mat for prasarita, padottanasana. So go wide with the legs, turn the toes in, even if you bend your knees to do that, turn your toes inwards a little, and then tighten the kneecaps. Just feel the body in 3 dimensions. Have your hands on your hips, wing the elbows towards each other behind you. Lift up into the chest. And like we did in Uttanasana, come forwards with the straight back, hinging entirely at the hips, lifting the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs, lifting the front, drawing the front rim of the pelvis towards the tops of the thighs. Reach down, find the blocks, use the blocks if you can't reach the floor, or just bring your hands onto the floor if you can. Be on fingertips either way. Everyone just go down onto the heels of your hands. That instantly becomes a drop in action. It's really hard to lift from the heels of the hands actually. Come onto the fingertips and then lengthen from the fingertips into the palms, into the wrists, into the armpits. And there's a different energy. Just feel the pose in 3 dimensions. Really activate the legs, tighten the kneecaps. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards like Tadasana, rather than outwards like Trikonasana. Turn the fronts of the legs consciously inwards. Slice the inner knees towards the wall behind you. And then pick up the seat bones and project the chin and the chest forwards. Just spend a little time observing how your body responds to the pose. If you can straighten your back at this stage, if you can reach the floor at this stage, then you can go further. Otherwise, just stay and continue to activate the legs, continue to activate the spine. Otherwise, bend at the hips, keep the back straight. Try and draw the chin down towards the floor. And then bring the top of the head onto the ground. The heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. Push your hands into the floor like you're going to kind of jump up into a headstand. We're not going to do that, but push the hands into the floor as though you were. Try and slide the hands towards the head or to either side of the ears. Keep the elbows parallel. Continue to keep the legs really firmly activated. Feel that you can lift out of the ground rather than collapse down. So like the seedlings poking out of the earth, reach up to the sky. If you can, you reach between the legs, palms facing the floor, stretch as far away as you can with straight arms. Try not to bring too much weight onto your head. Keep the legs hitting back so that the weight stays in your heels. Okay, bring your hands back to in line with your heels. Walk the hands forwards, come back to the center. And then bring the palms down this time. Bend your knees and then step or jump your feet back together. And then come back into Tadasana. Have the inner edge of your feet together. Just stretching your arms down. Just feeling where the body has awoken. It often wakes in unpredictable places. I mean, it's not unpredictable, but it's unpredictable because maybe there are muscles you don't always feel. Raise your arms up. I've only turned sideways, so I've got more ceiling height. But raise your arms up into urdhva hastasana. Have the arms, if you can, parallel to each other. But if you struggle to straighten your arms, then bring your arms a bit wider until you can straighten them. Go back to your Tadasana. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards. Hit the shins back so that your weight is in your heels. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards and tuck the tailbone in. Draw the belly button towards the spine. Lift the abdomen to the diaphragm. Draw the lower ribs towards the spine. Lift the heart area to the ceiling. Draw in the shoulders away from your ears. And reach from the armpits up into the palms, into the fingertips. Find lightness in your action. Okay, and then gently release. Come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels for a moment. Just sit back on your heels and observe your energy. Observe how your energy has changed. Observe how the physical body feels different. Keep the seat bones down on the heels. Press the shins consciously into the mat. Press the shin bone into the shin skin. So that the thighs activate. So that you can activate the spine. Lifting from the hips up into the armpits. And then maintaining that connection between the seat bones and the heels. Come forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana. Keeping the seat bones down as much as you can. Stretching from the hips into the armpits, really opening up those side ribs. Listen to the sound of the breath. Broaden the collarbones away from each other. Stretch into those side ribs. Bring the armpits down to face the floor. So we don't always work that way, we often work the opposite, but you can stretch out the back in a whole load of different ways in this pose. Keep drawing the tailbone down towards the heels, using your physical intelligence to know that the heels are in contact with the seat bones and vice versa. And then bend your elbows, bring your shoulders underneath, your hands underneath your shoulders. And then push yourself up into seated, just sitting back on your heels. Just observe your energy, observe how the physical body has changed, how your energy feels more immediate, more clear. Come down onto your back into supta padottanasana. So pulling the feet in towards the seat bones, letting the knees fall apart, resting the head down onto the floor. If there's stiffness in your hips, you can put blocks on the outsides of your thighs, but an action that you can try first is to squeeze the heels together. Squeeze the heels consciously together and turn the tailbone in a little, lengthening the sacrum away from the abdomen. That creates compactness in the hips, which can overcome resistance. But if it doesn't, then definitely use the blocks on the outsides of your thighs to give you support. But whether or not there's discomfort in the hips, squeeze the heels together. Squeeze the outer edge of the feet together. Turn the tailbone in. Draw the belly button towards the spine and broaden the abdomen into the abdominal walls. Drawing the abdominal walls down into the floor. So that where normally the lumbar would arch away from the floor, it's flat into the floor, giving it some support. Stretch your arms up, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then lengthen your arms along the floor. If there's stiffness in your shoulders, put a folded blanket or some blocks underneath your hands to support your shoulders. But otherwise, just squeeze the outer elbows inwards. Straighten your arms as much as you possibly can. Activate from the armpits into the palms, but don't lose the legs. Be holistic in your approach. Raise your arms up, swap the interlock of the fingers so that the unnatural interlock occurs and the other index finger is on the top of the stack, and then lengthen your arms away. And then soften the legs, release your arms, soften your arms, bring your arms to the sides of the body, resting your hands on your lower ribs. And allow the body to just release into the floor. Observe how when you soften the pose, the lumbar naturally arches. Just observe the physical body in 3 dimensions. Okay, and then very gently bring the knees together. Have the knees together and the feet apart. Just resting your hips, resting your back, just feeling how the physical body can soften into the floor. Draw your knees in toward your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Just a gentle massage on the spine. Go for the happy baby pose by getting hold of the outside edge of the feet. And again, just rocking from side to side, from top to bottom. You can bring your feet kind of closer to the head. And just rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Or you can bring the feet together just to really work into the back. And then gently release and rock yourself up into the seated position. So come into swastikasana or half padottanasana, whichever is most comfortable. Sit on a lift if you need to, and then hold onto your knees, lift up into the heart area, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Just spend a moment to take in deep breaths, feeling that the chest can expand without resistance. Non-resistant in-breaths brings genuine energy into the body. Take a deep inhalation, and then with an exhalation, turn to the right. Dig the back hand into the floor so that you can stay on top of the front edge of the seat bones. Observe your balance. Observe the balance of the seat bones. If you've rolled all of your weight onto the right seat bone, then draw the torso between the two hips. Draw the abdomen across and the ribs and the shoulders, finding levelness at the seat bones. Come back to the centre. Hold onto your knees, take a deep inhalation, and with the following exhalation, turn to the side. So turn to the left. Drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. And then very gently come back to the centre. Just come down onto your back. Have a folded blanket for underneath your head. So we're just going to come into viparita karanhi first. So if you've got a bolster handy, you can use the bolster and then bring the lower back onto the bolster. If you haven't got a bolster, you can just have the feet on the floor, bend your knees up to the ceiling, and then raise your legs up from the floor. But the bolster will just give you a little additional height. If you find that the blanket under your head is a little restrictive for your neck, then you can just move it out of the way for a moment. We'll use that again in a moment. Otherwise, find the bolster, bring the knees in towards the chest, and then elevate the legs up towards the ceiling. For viparita karanhi, just stretching the legs up to the ceiling. A gentle significant supported inversion that gives the organs a rest by reversing gravitational pull on the organs. Not as much as in a full inversion perhaps, but there's some element of inversion there. Inversions are particularly beneficial for the immune system. So they're worth every second that you spend in them. Inversions are also deeply quietening, so they quieten the brain. Bend your knees, bring your feet down onto the floor. And then lift the seat bones, roll the bolster away, and then bring the bolster underneath your knees. Bring the folded blanket underneath the back of your neck. If you can, for a moment or two, cover your eyes with something just to quieten the brain, just to bring some quietness, and do so like a yoga eye pillow, or just cover your eyes with your hood or something like that. Just give yourself some darkness for a moment. Let the physical body become heavy. Let the physical body become heavy on the ground. Unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. Observe that sensation of physical lightness that radiates irrepressibly from the bones and into the muscles. Radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into the organs. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the toes, into the fingers, and up into the top of the head. Just introducing lightness into the body. ready to disturb yourself, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster if you have one, have the feet apart and the knees together, just resting into the floor, resting your back into the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. And then very gently roll yourself onto your right side. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands in the masti. Just a final spinal lift. Draw your breath consciously into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice. That good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the inversions bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. And when you're ready, raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel like you are really stretched out. You've given yourself a good stretch and some good energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.